Here's the rear KOMOTO M1100 tire. What we're going to do first is remove this rotor. Alright, save the screws. Rotor, if you're going to reuse it, we're replacing this one. Alright, there's spacers behind this rotor. Those are to push the rotor up a little to give the extra clearance it might need for tweaking of the rotor. It makes it easier. Without that being installed, it makes life a lot harder. Alright, next step, what we're going to need to do here. I'm going to head over the GoPro. Alright, right in there. Alright, this tire probably has armadillos in it. Most of our customers usually do. Like I said, you gotta break the bead. We use tire levers for this. And then also make sure you have some zip ties too that you're gonna need here for when we install the new tire. We'll cover that more. So we're just kind of breaking the bead. You know, you can kind of see here, I'm just putting the tire lever. These are motorcycle ones, you know, underneath the bead. Alright. So then what I like to do is one tire lever, if you can tell here. And we'll take a second one. And see, I'm have two at the same time with both my hands here. I'm going to try to pop this one, pop it. See how I popped it up some? Alright, see this? Alright. Then you have to work your way around. Once you get that first initial pop, then it's pretty easy. You can see right here. You can see the armadillos. Alright. Best technique I found is you can use the tire lever, put it in here, push the tire over, boom, bada bang. Trying to not make too big of a mess because there is armadillos in there. It's been in there a couple of years. You can see how it hasn't really wrecked the tire, but it does collect in there as it kind of dries and stuff. So you don't want to clean that out. Oh, GoPro keeps getting hit by the wires here. All right. So we have that. We're going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol because I like using this stuff on a lot of stuff here. Just kind of clean the tire out a little if you can. You know, it's not going to hurt. You don't need to get it all super clean because you're probably going to add more armadillos or whatever other tire sealant. Alright, so we got that removed. Alright, these tires are directional. You can see the way they point, that's going forward. You don't want it to go the other way. So make sure you have the position. Obviously when we look at the scooter, these scooters always have it on the left hand side. So what we're going to have to do here, it's going to be going towards this way. Because the rotor's on this side. If we be standing on the scooter like this, you know, left foot, right foot, this is where this goes. So we're going to push this over. This is probably the easiest part. Just pushing this over. In all actuality, see how that got on. Alright, this is where the zip ties come into play. Super important. I always go from, whoa, I always go from this side over. This wire here and this GoPro is just not working out. I ain't redoing this video, so, alright. See, I'm crunching the tire. The more crunched you can get this in the zip tie, the better off you'll be. So I'm crunching the tire because I'm trying to make it as small as I can here. Because the smaller I have this, the more likely it will tuck in to the rim and fit for us. So we're going to keep repeating that. I try to do at least 4 zip ties. Try to spread them consistently. So as you can see here, I'm crushing the tire. I always try to put the zip tie point on top. It's kind of another important thing to do. But you can see here I'm crushing the tire. So this will allow us to get it in the rim. Alright, so our final zip tie. Try to space it here. Same technique as before. Alright, so now you can see how we have this oval crushed here. So this lower small part is going to tuck into the rim here when we use the tire levers. So first things first, you see here how I tuck this down into here, okay? So then we're going to take a tire lever, the first one on the top, you know, and you see how that popped in. See how that popped in? But if I take tension off of this, that'll pop out. So you have to keep the tension on the tire lever. So then you get your second tire lever underneath here. So, and once you kind of get more, oh, zip tie braking, that's not good. All right. And then we're gonna have to keep working our way around. It's a little bit trickier than I make it sound. And I have my foot here too to help us. And then you can see we might have an epic fail here. We'll find out here in a moment. You can see here zip ties. Alright, so we kind of got that one tucked in over here, which is kind of important. Alright, let's see if we can get this. And we might have a epic fail here. Due to the fact that I don't have enough zip ties on it. Yep. So, run into this issue, which happens more frequently than you realize. I have to get more zip ties and re-zip tie because I had a zip tie break. If you ever see a zip tie break, it's kind of bad news. I keep hitting the tripod too. I apologize. It's just the wires. And I wanted to get as close as possible with the GoPro, so you could see everything that I'm doing here, so you can kind of learn. Because it's not easy. I've changed hundreds of tires, literally, probably almost thousands by now. So, hopefully that's tucked up enough now. So the concept is to crush the side of the tire to get it to fit in there. So, see how that kind of like tucks in? And you see now how you can see how crushed that is. See what I mean? That's what I was talking about. See how it's crushed? That's what you have to do in order to get the tires on. I know it seems almost ridiculous, but that's what it takes. That's why these small tires are kind of pain in the ass. Now you can see how one side's all fat and the other side's not. So we're gonna run into an issue here. What we're gonna do too is cut the zip ties all off. Pull these out. Alright, now you can see I ripped those all out. So now we have to pull up the bead of this tire. So, I've literally taken up my tire levers, literally pulling it up. See how this is all still crushed here? Literally trying to pull up that bead. But you need to be careful because you could pull down the bead or to another side. So when we do this, all right? And then we're gonna show here in a second. I'm gonna fill up the air compressor and then we'll come back to this and we'll show you what's going on. here we are after I fill up the air compressor to see if I can get this to pop the bead on. And you can see how it just popped on. That was because I used higher air with 100 psi. And you can see how that popped on. And you can see now on both sides how we are nice and sealed to the rim. Make sure it's centered. Make sure you have the direction properly. But that's the biggest trick, is having the proper psi when you're doing it. And then it pops the bead on like you just saw. We use an air compressor, 100 psi or more. I think there was like 110 or 120. And then that way it really pops on there. Be careful not to overfill the tire and explode it. But once you see the bead pop on, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then check your PSI afterwards to be the proper, which is between 35 and 40 PSI. 40 for bigger riders, 35 for lighter riders. These tires add a lot of suspension to the ride of the scooter. So that is how you get that done.